everybody runs into writer's block at some point in their career. Do you have any tips or tricks, or how do you get past when you hit the wall? What do you do?
I think I mentioned earlier that I'm a psychopath. So actually, I do not get writer's block, and I shouldn't even say that out loud and knock on something here. It's just not something that has ever been a problem for me. I am a font of ideas. Now, most of them are terrible. Readily will admit that most of my ideas are just absolutely awful, but I don't run out of them. I think that's, again, I'm a little bit crazy, but also I'm just very interested in the world. Like, I'm interested in every facet. I'm interested in cooking and travel and people and gardening, and I'm just interested in stuff. And so if you're interested, I think you will just take stuff in all the time, and you always have something to say. Now, that being said, that's not going to work for everyone. I think there's a lot of people smarter than me that have come up with tips and tricks for beating writer's block. I watched something that was like, write down 10 jobs you can think of, write down one adjective that could apply to those jobs, and then like tie them together in ways of a metaphor. I mean, there's people way smarter than me that have come up with ideas for that, but I would just say stay interested in life, stay open-minded, stay curious, and those things will be your best defense against writer's block, because the world is an unending stream of interesting things happening all the time. I mean, I take a walk every day and I just kind of look around and I'm fascinated by, oh, there's a bird. Oh, there's a new construction. Oh, a new coffee shop. Like, look at that weird guy. And just all those inputs all the time seems like if you can draw upon those, you should be able to find a way to write about them.
So kind of what I'm hearing in there, I mean, honestly, this is something I've talked about a few times. When other people call it a writer's block, often they hit this wall where they go, either I don't have an idea to keep this song moving. Let's say you get partway through a verse and you just kind of get stuck on a line. You're like, I don't know where to go from here. Part of what I said to the young writers is just keep going. Just keep writing, even if it's not great. Fill in the blanks and just keep moving. And that's what you're kind of saying. You're like, sometimes the ideas aren't perfect, but you just keep moving. It doesn't stop you from continuing. So
yeah, and I also think that young songwriters, again, I speak of all these things when I critique other songwriters, or I critique parts of songwriting, it's all honestly a personal critique, because it's all mistakes that I have made. If I'm a good songwriter, the only way I've gotten to be a good songwriter is by fucking it up every single step of the way and realizing, oh, these are all the ways you don't do it. Here's maybe a way that's better. Right. But I think that songwriters a lot of times, and I coach some songwriters, they're a little bit too precious with their songs. It's like, this next line has to be exactly perfect, and this is going to be the exact song. And I understand feeling that way. When I was 18 and I'm writing a love song, I'm like, this is going to be the song that changes my life, and it has to be perfect. And then you grow up and you write 15,000 songs, and you're like, not that you don't care about each one individually, but when you can just pull back just a little bit and sort of look at it a little more analytically and be like, okay, like, I want this song to be great. I'm going to do my best to make it great, but I'm also not going to, what is that famous phrase that, perfection is the enemy of excellence. I don't think that's quite right, but it's basically like trying to get something exact sometimes will stop you from just even finishing it. And you gotta let go just a little bit and be like, it's going to be okay. And by the way, you can always go back and edit stuff. It's right. Writing is for me, it's a both sides of the brain process. I have a creative side that takes off and I just let it run. It's like a wild horse. Just go, take off. And then after that part's done, then the editor can kind of show up and be like, that was a dumb turn. That was a dumb turn. What if we change this? And being able to separate those two is sometimes difficult for folks, but to be a good writer, I think you have to unleash, and then after whatever has come out, let the other side come and edit it.
Right. Right on.